Tonight's tactical enhancement is Gin and Tonic with lime. Tonight we're playing Warhammer 8th edition, 2,500 points, and I've got some new terrain on the table. These are demo pieces from the Dave Graffam Games thingy. I've got one or two of his bundles that I'm actually doing at a smaller scale for a different game, but these are some I was playing around with while I was at it, just for something different. And tonight we've got Dark Elves versus Chaos.
All right.
Talk us through what you got.
Well, I've thought I'd take something as nasty as I can get. I've got Lord Morgul and a Exquisitor Pain, a 4th level and a 2nd level.
Which one is which?
Well, Exquisitor Pain is the sort of this guy here, and he's a level 2. He's got 3 spells. He's got a Chaos Demon, which is probably the mount. A demonic something, I don't know. It's like a pet. And then we've got the 4th level Mage with the Shore Shadows.
Grizzly.
It's 4 chariots. I do apologise, I'm painting my other 2 chariots at the moment, well, other 4 chariots. So they're all Chaos Warriors of Michael Slanish.
And why can't orcs be Chaos Warriors too?
Well, at least they're painted and they are roughly the same sort of scale.
Fuck it, chariot's a chariot.
It is for tonight anyway. So 3 units of my old 19 Chaos Knights that be remounted on more modern steeds, and I've got 2 units of 6 Chaos Ogres, Michael Slanish, great weapons. They have a musician and a unit champion. They have to issue a challenge, by the way.
Right, do it.
If they kill someone, they roll on the Eye of the Gods and can turn into a greater demon, which I have models for. Or a Slanish.
That's unfortunate.
They can turn to spawn as well. That would be funny.
Oh my god, the dice are going to ride strong today. I'm a bit worried about ogres that are into Slanish, because when it comes to excess, I don't think they're just talking about how much they eat.
Well, the story with this is that Lord Morgul was having great fun up in the Chaos Waste, and he's hired some ogres, and him and his merry marauders were all running around having great fun until there were no more marauders because the ogres ate them all. So he's been gnawing on the legs of the Chaos Knights, but unfortunately they're armoured. The horsemen are too fast and get away. The chariots, they don't do it. You don't muck around with chariots, even though ogres learnt that. And he's off to find tastier and more feed for his band of hungry ogres who keep eating everybody.
Oh, lovely. All right.
There you go. There's a quick.
Sounds like a very ogre background story you've got there.
Yes.
And we've got a few cheap and cheerful marauder cavalry there.
They're 85 points a pop. They got javelins and otherwise a musician, and they're naked and Marcus Slanish.
Wow, naked and Marcus Slanish. That's
yes. Well, yes.
That's a while since I've been to any parties like that.
Yes.
All right.
What do we got here?
Okay, so a couple of new things. I haven't fielded the Cauldron of Blood before. I was going to do a different type of list actually, then I realised I hadn't fielded this, and that seemed like a travesty. So we'll put that.
Give the unit stubborn or frenzy or +5 or plus.
So many things I can't fucking remember. The ward is the useful bit, and it's got a bound spell which can inflict frenzy on units, and the frenzy stacks. So if I put the frenzy on a unit that's already frenzied, then it's got +2 attacks instead of +1. So we'll see how long that lasts before you do something to it.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it will.
You're poison as well, I presume?
Yes.
Is it poison on a 5+ or a 6+?
6+, although I've given the boss lady a thing that gives her +D3 attacks, and also a ogre blade, so she's strength 6.
And they're stubborn, no doubt.
Yes, and I think there's a thing which I think it gives them extra strength, so they re-roll failed wounds. Yeah, failed rolls to wound. So it's a bastard. And I'm glad you don't mean cannon, frankly. Although it does get a 4+ ward for the actual machine.
Oh, the machine does get a 4+ ward.
Yeah, and the troops with it get a 5+ ward.
Good, I'm glad you got something tough to try.
Well, I'm going to fucking need it against that mayhem.
Yes.
Now we've got these guys, the usual Corsairs,
Mm-hmm.
usual 2 bolt throwers,
That's
because
good.
I'm not cheesy enough to go 4, although I'm starting to think I should have.
Yes.
Uh,
I can handle 4. Take 4.
2 units of the light cav, whatever they're called. Now I've got Dark Riders, yes. Now I've got a block of cold ones, a smaller block of cold ones, and a level 4 death mage.
Yes.
I might have fielded once.
Death mage is good for sniping. Is that right?
Yeah. Very good at sniping and some other stuff. And I've got a standard bearer and a level 2 beasts mage, just for a change. We'll see how that works out. She's only got 2 spells.
The 6. I am now a large dragon. Rawr.
Yeah, I didn't take that one in the end. I thought about it, but I thought, it seemed like I didn't get the damn thing out to work.
You have to throw a lot of dice at that.
Yeah, that's right. I think there's probably more useful things I can do just to add synergy to the army.
I don't know. If you get a lot of dice, you could.
Or I could be fucking wrong. I don't know. I mean, I'm up against 15 fucking Chaos Knights.
Now the ogres, you know what happens when they hit you in the rear. Because that's what happened to your dwarves. Big block last time I had them. And I think it was 18. It just annihilated them.
Oh, that's right.
I lost my general, my BSB,
still got
something
that.
else.
There's either a tie or a win still, but
I can't remember. It was a close game.
Because my 300-point tank with an axe went and killed your general.
Finally, it took
a while.
Took a while because it did, and
Yeah.
I went because I kept making my ward. You couldn't hit the side of iron.
That was one
I
of
made
the ages,
saves.
that game.
That's going back a year at least.
Yeah, it must have been. That was a great game.
Okay.
You were giving my army shit for being built the way it is.
Yes, I do, and I still will give you sharply shit for that's not an army. It's 3 blocks of infantry. That's quite funny.
Well, they like each other's company.
No, it's you to. It's what's funny is you saying it's a themed army. I'm going. That's not
Well, it is. If you look at the whole 5,000 point dwarf army, it is themed, but you couldn't tell from just a little bit that's on the table. Get a dice up,
It's
man.
fucking themed, and I'm going to stick with that story here. I'm going to use this.
You know what? We got to. What are we rolling for? This is the what side of the table we're on.
Do you want? What side you can pick?
You know what? I made the table equal, so we
I
may as
can't.
well
I don't
just
care.
set up the side that we're on.
Yeah.
Then we'll have an excuse to roll the dice to see who goes first.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, we're now deployed. Any comments on deployment? Done Vanguard.
Done the Vanguard. I have got to try and flank you, and that Cauldron of Blood is going to be an absolute pain.
Well, I certainly hope so.
I don't hope so.
He's very pretty.
Has he got magic resistance?
Yes. Magic resistance 1, which I think is a ward save of 6 to...
Gives you 1 dice, and if you take any wounds,
Actually,
it gives you a plus to your wards. I think no.
Yeah, actually, I think it does buff on top of ward.
You take the best ward you've got.
I think it buffs. Oh, we'll look it up if it matters.
Have a look it up. It might. It is worth
We'll
looking.
worry about that later. Anyway,
It might buff it. You're right.
we've got all the Chaos Chariots up here.
Well, one's here.
Oh, that little fella there. And we've got the infantry over there.
Mage level 2 over there with his vanguarding
Yeah, so he is.
pretty boys because he's a fast cavalry as well. So
I must remember that's what he is. He's very dangerous. We've got these guys. Then we've got the heavy cav here to support the line. A couple of bolt throwers on the hill to do something in a bit. And I've got a little flank unit over here because I knew you'd do sneaky things on the flank, so I've got to have some protection up there.
You do. Yes.
So now we'll roll to see who gets first turn. Woohoo! We get a +1.
6.
Strong need. And didn't help at all. Damn it, you get first turn.
Woohoo!
Oh well, we'll check in at the end of turn 1.
All right.
Right, end of turn 1 for Chaos, and they're doing what they do, they're advancing, and it looks pretty in a line. These guys hocked spears, did nothing. These guys hocked spears. The ward actually worked because the cauldron gives them a ward. And over here they capped 1. This mage did a thing on this to mean they've got to do roll tests and minus a lot. He then threw another spell at it which is designed to capitalize on that, but I held on to my dice to dispel at the last minute, and he didn't get a double 6, so no joy there. The magic did reduce these guys' movement by 3.
So you're charged.
Not a huge issue, but we'll...
You weren't really planning on moving, but if you do charge those guys, it's...
Yeah, it might be a slight issue, but what's going to happen is he'll run away.
Of course.
Which will be funny. So that's that for turn 1. We'll move into Dark Elf turn 1. End of turn 1 for the Dark Elves. And, okay, so we shuffled forward with the line. I actually did charge with the Witch Elves against this. I knew they'd run, but I needed to shuffle down off the hill a little bit to free up shooting for these guys, and then I proceeded to shoot in a totally different direction anyway. That may have proved to be an error on my part.
Thing is, you were. I didn't think you could shoot through because you had them next to each other like that.
One was slightly forward from the other. I always put them that way.
Not where I could. Okay.
No, I always set them offset. Although, if anyone wants to go back in the video and see if I accidentally shuffled it when I turned it.
Yes, I think we might do that. I have pictures.
I did check before I turned it, and I measured it, and I had a clear run of at least a 1-inch gap to shoot at the bastard. See, what Sean's annoyed about is that I just picked off his level 2 mage and the character using 2 bolts.
Well, there you go.
And they both hit.
There we go. No, it's fine. You hit on the 3+.
It's not on there anymore. It's screen's changed.
A screen is changed.
Photographic evidence.
I have photographic evidence here. This is.
These guys moved, tried to shoot, didn't do anything.
They don't. Yeah, sure, fine.
These guys picked off this guy. Sean's not happy.
Oh, yeah, that's my mistake. They've certainly moved from the picture here.
Well, it moved me back slightly, but I still measured it before I turned to the model.
That's
so
fine.
I did have a 1
That's okay.
fire
That's okay.
lane. So yeah, I got lucky with the dice rolls and picked the bastard off.
I shouldn't have put it there.
With the magic, we buffed this lot +1 strength and toughness, and we used the death magic spell on this. Rolled a double 6, and what the death magic spell does, this is the one which is slightly less powerful, but it's got range of 24, so it's just outside of 12. Had I used the more powerful one just inside 12, that would be dead. And it works by you roll 2d6, you take the strength off of that 2d6, what's left is the number of hits, and the hits wound automatically in a 4+ and ignore armor.
Yeah. I would say in the future though, it's strength 5, it's you because you're hitting the chariot.
Oh, we did treat it as toughness 5.
Okay, and I think that is correct.
Otherwise I'd had an extra dice and I might have bumped it off, but as it is, it's got 1 wound left.
Yeah, it's got 1. Should be dead next turn.
All comes down to the dice, but that's a bit of a problem that's alive because it will do some damage. We got I had to use the earthing rod because we rolled up the 2 to 4 where you get the strength 10 thing, and the big pie plate would have been right all over these 2 units. So I re-rolled and got a 5 instead, and so got the small circular template. But between the Mage's Ward working and rolling a bunch of 1s, I didn't lose too much out of that fuck up.
You're lucky. Yeah,
I got very lucky this time.
No, that's all right. Okay.
So we're in position. The best thing is with these guys running, they can rally and reform, but they'll still be in that position, whichever angle he manages to put them in for the reform.
And when the move comes, we get to move normally, but we can't charge through.
You can't charge through them.
That's fine. But the same goes for your guys.
So with these guys, are they going to run?
Who?
These guys
they're Marcus Lanish. They don't suffer from panic test.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's frustrating. I guess they liked it.
They did. Can we have some more, sir?
Oh, we certainly may.
Right.
On that note, we will move into turn 2 for the Slanish. End of Chaos, turn 2. Okay, these guys came running through. Hulked spears, didn't do anything. These chaps moved up. These chaps moved up. Now the chariot had 1 wound left, charged in, bumped off 2. And I realised I actually only paid for 9 of these guys, had to get rid of another one. But we got pretty lucky with the dice rolls back and killed the chariot.
No, I had 1 wound.
True. I mean, I figured we were going to get him, but I thought it might take the cold ones to do it. These guys came in, threw some spears, did nothing. Some magic was hopped to these guys. They're now -1 to a whole bunch of things.
Initiative, movement, weapon skill.
Yes. Now, Sean reduced the toughness of these guys down to toughness, well, by 1 actually, so the toughness 2. I let that one through because Sean had 10, 11 dice to play with, and I had 5.
I thought you could. I didn't have anything else to do.
But the thing is, he was hitting me with a strength 5 on the charge chariot, so it was going to win me on a 2+ anyway. So I let that one through, and then I stopped the enfeebling foe from hitting these guys. A quick question, what's the strength of that lot?
6 with great weapons.
Whoa, nasty. Do I want to get these guys killed charging that? Think about that. And this moved up to cause some harassment. The game is on. Sean's been quite calculating. I'm trying to be. I need another drink.
I think I need another drink too. Let's do it.
Checking at the end of the Dark Elf turn 2. End of turn 2 for the Dark Elves, and it's going pretty nuts. Was this turn 3?
This is turn 2 because you went second.
That's right, because I rolled 6 for my magic last turn. So a whole bunch of things happened. We tried to charge these into those, and because of that -1 to their movement, that was the difference between the charge working or not. We moved these guys around to shoot over the top and try and kill these. We got 1. We manoeuvred these to stay out of the charge arc of the ogres and shot at these and did very little. Ended up shooting both repeat bolt throwers. That's like 12 shots at these pricks and killed 2. That was not so good.
That was hilarious. How many times you hit and then you failed to wound?
I rolled 1s and 2s to wound 11.
But they're just naked men. You're just enamored by the great big...
Yes. And because they're big bolts, they're even more happy about getting shot.
Yes. Pierce me. Over again.
Indeed. We shuffled these guys back.
It gets perverse.
We shuffled these guys back thinking that I might have to deal with a counter charge from the ogres because I charged them with my Cold One Knights, thinking I wouldn't get through. Rolled pretty darn well and did get through. We polished them off and chased off the survivors, so that was surprising. In the magic, we buffed this lot. We fired an amber spear and killed one of them.
You didn't buff that, I remember I stopped that.
Was that the one you stopped?
Yes, I did stop that.
Ah, of course you did. Well, we got one of them. We hopped out a couple of death magic spells, and we did a grand total of 1 wound against the ogres in their face.
You killed them anyway, doesn't matter.
I thought I was going to have to do a bit more.
Bloody tears of what?
I mean, the thing is, the ogres hit back with their great weapons and smashed the shit out of this unit, but still managed to lose and fucked off.
Well, you killed a lot. You did. You killed 3 of them.
Yeah, and I accepted because the ogres have to do a challenge, and I accepted the challenge with my mage, and the black amulet actually worked, and it bumped the wound off the bastard.
Yes, it's a bit sad, but okay. That's all right.
It was high risk, high
I was hoping
hilarity.
you would roll my champion, and then it would make him a demon or something. That would be hilarious.
Oh, I'm rather glad that didn't happen. Anyway, so we're in a position now where these guys are going to charge them. That will suck.
Because guess what? You rolled 3.
Yeah,
and that -1 did come in handy, didn't it?
It certainly did. It made the difference. These guys will charge the bolt throwers, and who knows.
Yes.
And these guys are sitting here like dumb fuckers waiting to be charged by all of that. Oh, look! Things that say charge. What a surprise.
Things that say charge.
Although what we did do is we used the Cauldron's buff that means that these witch elves are now double frenzied. So they'll get +2 attacks for the frenzy.
I'm not afraid.
And we'll see what happens. End of Chaos turn 3, and my wasn't that a busy turn. Alright, over here, these guys charged Cold One Cavalry, lost 2, I killed one of mine. There was a dead tie right down to the musicians. Over here, the remaining 2 Marauder, never run away, never panic, piss weak cheap cavalry, charged in against my bolt thrower, but they had reduced strength because of some magic hocked at them, and nobody did anything to anybody. Let's see, the general came out from hiding behind there and moved up here to cast some magic. Now, the shit fight in the middle went horribly wrong. I didn't realise the ogres had a flank charge through here. In fact, they probably wouldn't have had one if I hadn't shuffled back last turn in anticipation of the ogres breaking through over here. So I really rather screwed myself there. So these guys charged the face, pinned the Corsairs in place, and if they'd fled, then they would have just been chased off by these guys charging, but these guys got the flank, charged in there. They rolled up a freaking storm. I rolled dog shit. Didn't kill a damn thing, actually. No, I did, what, 1 wound off of the ogres.
Yes.
That was terrible. We needed Snake Eyes, didn't get it, even on the reroll, because, you know, statistically that's fucking impossible. And we fled, and the ogres actually caught us, but they didn't quite get to the flank of the...
1 more inch, and I would have been into your flank, and that whole combat...
It was only off by, like, between 5 to 10 mil.
Yes.
And we only figured that out when we measured to the actual bases instead of the movement trace.
No, it was out. It was out by enough.
A little bit, yeah.
It was out. It was...
So 2 chariots came in, rolled up extremely well. I fluffed my fucking ward save, so I took a couple more casualties than I should have. But I think you hit, what, 12 times instead of, probably should have been more
12
like,
times I killed 11. And you saved only twice, so you lost 9.
Yeah, it was crap. I mean, you rolled, I don't know, 2 or 3 higher than you should have statistically. I took more casualties than I should have statistically. We didn't roll up a lot with the poison back.
No, you didn't. I saved everything.
Ended up having to stack everything, including my souped up death hag, onto one of the chariots in order to kill it off. The other one's untouched. But we did pass morale to stick around, and we did pass morale to reform. I've moved the cauldron down here so my death hag can have a crack at this bastard.
Oh, you kill him.
And to fend off the inevitable charge over here.
We can only hope.
Well, yeah, we'll see how we go. Because these guys are still in the mix.
Meanwhile, your knights over there did okay.
I had a problem here I've got to deal with. Yeah, I was just commented while you're out the back having a whiz in the backyard. And but that they stuck around. But I still have viable units, but you've just taken a big chunk out of my army.
Oh yeah.
So it's on for young and old. It's now turn 3 for the Dark Elves. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
End of Dark Elves turn 3. And as Sean just said, the game's going pretty quick. It's bloody as hell. This was a standoff.
No, I lost.
Well, yeah, nobody killed anything.
No.
But I had a standard, so he lost by 1, but he passed the morale. This lot charged a chariot in the backside, lost 2 of their number in this shit fight, but was still enough to win by quite a bit, and they chased it down after it fled. So that was nice. Over here, these guys finally killed off that bolt thrower, and it's their turn next, unfortunately, so they're going to go for this guy.
Huzzah!
Now, in the shooting, my bolt thrower took out one of these knights, but that was about it. And we're finding out, well, I'm finding out the hard way, that Slaaneshi Chaos Warriors are pricks because they're immune to panic. These guys ran up and shot like a bunch of southern hick yokels and expended all their bolts into the air, hitting nothing instead of them. And over here, my souped up death hag smashed a cauldron a chariot single-handedly, yes. So that was all right.
Yes.
Now, I did move these guys around, put all of my 6 dice into a spell to try and kill this thing, got the spell off without blowing up my own mage, which is nice, and then rolled really crap on my 2d6.
Yes, you rolled 4.
Oh my god, I'm rolling terribly.
And then you forgot to put this 1 dice into your...
Yes, then I realised I forgot to leave any dice behind to buff the frenzy on these guys, so they're not getting the extra 1 attack. Which will be a problem next turn.
Yeah. You're not super frenzy, you're just frenzy now. Hang on, you've lost combat, haven't you? Do you retain frenzy all the time? Because you lose your frenzy if you lose combat.
Flee. Oh god, I have to look this
up.
No.
Once you lose combat, you lose your frenzy.
Alright, well, we'll worry about that later.
Doesn't matter. I mean, you would have killed the chariot anyway. I'm quite happy for the chariot.
But, yeah, you're quite right. I've possibly lost frenzy in this unit.
So you don't have frenzy anymore.
We'll double check that because it's going to really matter in a moment.
Oh yes, the others food.
But yeah, anyway, it is now
chicken legs. The redheads taste like chicken.
Well, I'm hoping the ogre's charged because I can actually hurt those fucking things.
No, not after I cast magic spells on you. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I'm sure. Blow yourself up, you bastard. See, you're supposed to be dead already. Well, you know, I know you like it. End of Chaos turn 4. Another wild and wacky turn. Gee.
Yes.
So over here, we went 1-for-1 casualties, but I had the standard, so they still lost and they fled, and my cold ones chased down the remaining 2 or 3 Chaos Knights there. Over here, Sean charged this lot, and he's just romping in the charge moves today.
Oh yeah.
Got these guys in the flank. But he also sent in the Marauder Cavalry for some obscure reason. Got them all killed, which helped with the buffs.
That was stupid. I don't know why I did that.
And my mage took the brunt of the attack, saved 2 out of 5. So that could have just about saved on a 50-50 chance. Although it's worth noting, he rolled reasonably well, ish, sort of. So my general is dead, which is very unfortunate. In fact, all my characters are dead, apart from the Death Hag on this thing. But I can't remember how that one ended up, but nobody ran away, put it that way. Over here, we managed to kill one of the Marauder Cavalry that charged in. The other one did nothing. And then in the fight, oh my lordy my, see, Sean stacked up a whole lot of stuff to reduce the effectiveness of my Witch Elves, and they don't have Frenzy anymore. But I still had 20 attacks with poison against the Ogres, and I rolled rather well. Fucked them right up.
You did 11 wounds.
Yes.
I didn't make any saves. Well, I made one save, I think.
That's right.
Or
So
2.
the Ogres charged into these guys in the face, and these guys charged this unit in the flank, and they didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to them either. So it all came down to the fact that the Ogres whiffed their attacks against the Witch Elves, whereas the Witch Elves went to town on the Ogres, and the survivors ran away here. They're still fleeing, and this lot fled as well, and they got away, but we did crash into the general, who's a level 4 magic user. So pretty wacky turn, all things considered.
Oh, it was good fun.
We're just working out if the Ogres took any extra casualties for fleeing through this unit here.
Moving.
Well, we'll check in, we'll sort that out, and we'll check in at the end of turn 4 for the Dark Elves.
Oh, you remember?
End of turn 4 for the Dark Elves. They polished off the last of the Marauders. Shot at these guys and did nothing. These guys can't hit the side of a barn door with their repeat crossbows. These guys charged the already fleeing chaps and made them run even further, which actually puts them dangerously close to that unit, which isn't great. But they can't charge even if they rally. Now this lot fought themselves to a standstill and did very little. I won on the banner, but they stuck around. And over here, our overrun into the general, basically nobody did anything to anybody much. But then the general rolled absolute crap. This is where a standard bearer would be useful, because you actually had pretty good odds.
No, I lost. I was going to lose. I lost by... You did a wound.
Yeah, you lost by 2. I think I did a wound on the chariot. Yeah, my chariot.
You did 1 wound.
Yeah, which is the only thing that happened. And,
Yes.
And even then I rolled really low on the chariot's charge, it's D6. But it was just enough, and you rolled crap on leadership and you don't have standard bearer.
I had to roll like 5 or less, so it wasn't...
Really?
Yeah.
What's his leadership?
6, but it would have been 6. If it was leadership 9, I would have had to roll 6.
6, yeah.
So you won by 3.
Oh, yeah, because it was a flank as well.
You flank, a charge, standard, and a wound. So I would have had to roll 4.
Yeah, I may have got more arse than class out of that one.
Oh, you just overran into it. I wasn't expecting. It's the 11 wounds on the Ogres, which was like
Swung the game, really.
fuck. That really that knocked me around. And then you chased after my Chaos Knights.
Damn straight, because those things are impossible to kill. Ogres I know I could deal with. But yeah, so that happened, remarkably.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that seems to be your rebuttal.
Yes, my rebuttal. My Spanish rebuttal.
We'll see if we can get another turn out of this.
Oh, I think we can.
End of turn 5, and the Ogres kept running. These guys rallied, and these guys polished off the last 2 of my Corbin Knights over here, which is unfortunate because that's a lot of points in there.
Oh.
And we're now about to go into
turn 5.
5 of the Dark Elves. We'll check in a moment. Right, another fast turn, given we've got hardly anything on the table. I moved up all these guys. They, again, managed to hit nothing. So I had to polish off another ogre with the bolt thrower, so they can't rally. But that did mean that I couldn't use a big bolt on these chaps over here and maybe do some damage.
We'll do one.
Now we did charge with this cauldron arrangement and they fled rather a long way. So we're now into turn 6. Right, turn 6 for Chaos. That can't rally, it kept running. This guy came around here so he couldn't get charged and they held the ground on the hill. We will just very quickly do turn 6 for the Dark Elves.
So they're all
Alright, end of turn 6 for the Dark Elves. We went the full 6 turns again. We shot everything at these guys, it did nothing. Charged my last 3 chaps. Well, we charged the Cauldron, which rolled fuck all, didn't go anywhere near them.
No.
And in some act of insanity, I charged the Cold One Riders, the last 3 at the 5 Chaos Knights. That was dumb. I shouldn't have done that, but by some fucking miracle,
You won.
we went 2 for 2 on casualties. And because I charged and had a standard bearer, I won, and you rolled crazy dice again. And we got rid of them.
Oh, no, really.
Wasn't expecting that.
You got the charge. It was like with a charge on strength 6 with rerolls to hit. I think you should beat Chaos
Yeah,
Knights.
I keep underestimating just how dangerous the Dark Elves are when you use them properly, because they're a glass cannon and they can fall apart very easily.
So I'm not really surprised that you beat the Chaos unit. But in the long slog, they have tends, or when they get the charge, and I tend to win, but not always.
Yeah.
As we've seen, it's been interesting.
Well, we had some crazy dice rolls.
It's your Cauldron of Blood that's died.
It did.
I think that's
that thing
was,
is absolutely lethal when it plays into its strengths.
well. Even though I knocked it down, it was the ogres that let me down in some respects.
Which is interesting because they smashed
Oh yeah,
an expensive unit with a mage and a standard bearer in it.
and they were you were being hit by Chaos Knights who did only 5 wounds, but But
So-
we need those. We need to roll 18 dice to hit you. I mean, I did 6 wounds to you, but it's the fact that you did.
Oh, I rolled a
You
storm of
did
those dice.
11 wounds on my ogres. You piece of shit.
Yeah, that was insane. I can't believe that happened.
No, and then it was all over and over. I mean, I went okay. Yeah, and
Well-
then you overran into my mage.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things that happened in this that were just dumb luck. Like,
I didn't expect. I was like, the mage was sitting there going, "All right, yes, we should win this battle." Oh, what's it? Oh,
I mean, I lost a big unit and a couple of characters to an extremely improbable charge, even though it's my fault that you even had the charge in the first place. And then I cleaned out your general with an extremely improbable overrun.
Yeah.
So, stuff going in all directions today.
Yeah, it's good.
So, what
That's
have we
very
got?
good. Cauldron of Blood is what I said at the beginning. Cauldron of Blood was going to be difficult.
So we normally have shiny new toy syndrome, but this one did its bloody job today.
Yes. Your cold ones are not to be underestimated. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm surprised the cold ones lasted as long as they did, especially that unit of 5 that was all isolated.
Yeah, I mean, you killed 2 units in the end. Its strike first and rerolls to hit
Yeah.
are.
Well, it's all the
Huge.
rerolls in the Dark Elf army. They just buff you like 15% here and there. And it makes a difference.
From when I played them, you reroll 1s and you've got 2 attacks for the cold ones, and it's like, gee, they must have been trying to sell models pretty hard.
I think with all the heavy cavalry, like the super heavy cavalry that was coming out, they were looking a bit fragile. They needed to keep up with the arms race.
I usually, when I play you, I just footer stomp you and chariot you,
Those things,
and you're in the previous games, and you're been rather ineffective because I've not allowed you to.
Yeah, they haven't had a go.
Yes, and those bolt throwers were good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, they did a few things. They weren't game changing, but they did their bits when they needed to.
Well, they killed the light cavalry, and I mean the light cavalry could have come in handy doing other things.
Yeah,
Maybe.
there is that, and they sorted out some ogres toward the end.
Yeah.
Tipped them over the edge when nothing else was working.
Nothing except, well, I failed the leadership test.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah.
Well,
You see, you do things that I wouldn't do. You put full commands and stuff, and it's like.
I do that for style, though. I don't even do it for. I mean, I've got so many commands that I don't strictly need that I could have bought another unit.
You have commands and everything, and I have no commands. I have musicians, but I have because I get more units, basically.
I've got about 180 points worth of command in across all my units.
I have.
And
Well, hang on. I got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
yeah, I got 180 points worth of 180 points worth of standard bearer, musician, and
I have 110.
And champion.
I have 110 points
Oh, okay.
in command.
Is that all in the?
It's all the musicians and
Because you got a lot of small units, don't you?
so it's less than yours. It proved reasonably effective. Yes, I think it paid dividends for you today.
Yeah, it doesn't always. Sometimes it's a point sink, and I'm essentially down by a small unit or an extra rank on something.
Yes, my level 2 mage, I was a fool to put him out there.
Yeah, that was fun.
No, I wasn't paying attention. I was stupid of me. So that was good. I enjoyed that. That was good.
That was really interesting. It was just back and forth so many times.
Your Corsairs had a nasty shock.
Oh, they did.
It was like,
I had such.
They had such hopes.
Yeah,
And then they got evaporated.
They killed the remains of a chariot, and that was about it. Oh well, we can't have it all.
The chariots are good. They did a lot.
Oh, they did take a big chunk out of these guys.
Yeah, it did help in the end. But yeah, that's why. And then if that overrun by the ogres had come in, I think you would have been a little. That would get 1 inch more. If that overrun from the Corsairs into this, it would have been the same combat.
That's right.
You would have not been steadfast. You would have
been
lost
able
by
to-
about 20.
I would not have been able to put all the attacks on.
That would have gone. Is that stubborn? Is it stubborn?
Oh god, I don't know. I might look that up.
Have a look.
I suspect that it's not actually.
If it's stubborn.
It is always struck first, frenzy, hatred, large target, magic resistance, murderous prowess, poison attacks, terror, which of course you ignored all day. That was annoying.
Haha.
I don't think it says stubborn. No. So
So you would have broken and run.
that's
If you-
right.
Unless you rolled double one.
But of course, the fact that you even got in there in the first place with all of that with the ogres was
Well, that was-
well above the odds.
That was the whole idea with the ogres, was to come around the flanks and worry you. I got too close here.
Oh, here, yeah. I
That-
had charged my.
I should have not gone in.
I wasn't expecting to smash them quite that easily,
You,
but that was.
I think you targeted the with that spell. That chariot was good.
Yep.
That was very
Got it with
good
a death
because if that had gone in and done like 2 or 3 wounds and not died, there's a good chance it would have hung around.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, yeah, you may kill it the next turn, but then the ogres are there, and all this is happening. The ogres are here, charging you in the rear,
would have lost it. Yeah.
and then you could have got that. Would have lost that. It's
Extra unit to charge into the witch elves along with the ogres in the following turn.
maybe that's that strength 6 is a real. That reform was a bit nasty. I'm not sure you can.
No, you had to pass the morale test to do a combat reform if you lose.
Characters in combat. See, I should have been in a challenge. Oh God. Anyway,
This is the thing, yeah, because this thing counts as a character and how you form the unit around it. So when we did a reform, I didn't even have to use make way. I just did a reform and repositioned it on the edge.
yeah, it's
So and 'cause it can join and leave units at will. So it's a lot more flexible than it used to be in the old version.
what is it? A movement of 4 or 5?
5, I think.
So what pushes it around?
Oh, the will of the gods, apparently. That's what it says in the book.
Will of the gods.
Doesn't need horses. But anyway, look, that was a blast. And I'm glad to have not lost against you for a change.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm kind of glad you didn't lose. The army I took was pretty tough, and
And you played it really well.
No, the Skippy, that was stupid. I can't believe I put him right in front of 2 bolt throws.
Oh, yeah, but that was the only thing you really did wrong. And you pulled off some other stuff that I wouldn't have thought was going to happen, so...
What, killing your Corsairs in 1 round?
Yeah, that mainly.
Combat, sending 2 chariots in and... I was pretty happy with the way the army went. Because Skippy can give you... There's a spell in Slaanesh, which I was hoping to roll up, was make you strike last.
Oh, that's nut. You big meanie pants.
Because then you would have got your rerolls, and I could have...
That would have ruined my day, Frank. Well, that would have made him a priority target if he wasn't already.
I didn't get it.
No,
I think... And if he got in and killed your bolt throws, but he's a wizard. Oh. Anyway,
he would have done. Yeah, it doesn't take much to kill the bolt throws if you're armored.
No.
But anyway, look, that was a blast and a half. So it's late. It's a school night. I daren't look at what time it is.
It is only 11 something.
Okie dokie. Well, then I'm not going to turn into a pumpkin. On that note, thanks for watching. Feel free to hit like, subscribe, all that guff. Make some commentary. And time to call it a night.